So last video I was looking at the 17 and 17 Pro and sort of coming to the conclusion that I thought maybe the 17 was the better value than the Pro model this year. But there's this other completely different model, which is maybe the most interesting to me because it's a totally different form factor. And that is the iPhone Air, Apple's new thin phone. I have another thin phone here. This is of course Samsung's version of the Air. Also very slim, which I don't know if it's gonna become a trend or last. This one's also super light. And Will, you've been using this, have you not? Okay, he says battery life, not the greatest, which is obviously gonna be the case with any device that prioritizes thinness. So you're charging it a lot. And I don't know if that's really what people want, but definitely if you walk into an Apple store and pick this thing up, it's probably gonna be impressive just because of how thin it is. Some level of appreciation for the engineers that are able to make these things happen and shrink them down and still make them strong, because apparently you can't really bend this thing. I mean, you can break it if you really want to, but apparently it's very strong. Let's open it up. Oh, by the way, we've also got the battery pack, and it made sense to include this because people are nervous about the battery life. So they have a dedicated iPhone Air battery working via MagSafe. So maybe this combination of things will be satisfied. Oh my goodness, yes. Extremely thin. It's kind of scary thin. I mean, it feels thinner than this one. It's super close. Just the way they've done the edge, no, it's thinner. Not including the camera section, obviously, where it jumps out a little bit. Feels futuristic, I'm not gonna lie. But is that gonna be worth the hit on battery life? Maybe for me, I don't even know. Look at this thing, wow. You know when you walk through IKEA and they've got those like props where there's supposed to be a TV or a desk and it's supposed to have a laptop on it, but the laptop is actually hollow? Well, it kind of has a prop-like feeling to it because it almost feels unrealistically thin. But it is here and it does exist, so there you have it. That's my reaction to it. There's nothing else in the box, just your cable with all the devices. It's a pretty nice braided cable, but you're getting no power brick or whatever, so you're bringing that on your own. So compared to the iPhone 17, I mean, it's a substantial difference there. Now, it's also a taller device, like a larger display. It kind of replaces the Plus model to a certain extent. Okay, well that is booting up. Let's check out the battery. A fairly slim battery, which obviously makes sense. It's like got that soft touch coating to it, and it's just gonna slap on like this. Look at that. Perfectly fit, Type-C and Type-C. Usable like this, very usable like this. Now obviously we've talked about the potential drawback of battery life, but you've also only got a single camera system, so you're giving up your ultra wide, the 17, and then if you were comparing it to a Pro, obviously you're giving up your ultra wide and your telephoto. So this is available in 4 colors. What you're looking at here is cloud white. It's also available in black, light gold, and sky blue. Now, as with all the other iPhones, this is eSIM now. So speaking of eSIM, check out these guys. They're called Saley. So Saley is today's sponsor, and they're a new eSIM service app, and they're brought to you from the creators of NordVPN. What this is going to allow you to do is skip those roaming fees if you're a person who travels a lot. You download it once, install it once. You don't need to install a new eSIM for each country you're gonna travel to. All you gotta do is get to your destination, load up your app, and start using your service in that place. And if you have one of these new iPhones, which are essentially eSIM only, you're not gonna be buying a physical SIM in some of these places that you travel to. However, if you have a device that takes a physical SIM, sometimes in some of these places there's scammers and they're gonna sell you some bogus SIM card as well that might not end up working for you. Now, Saley's also got security features so you can browse more confidently. You can change your virtual location, block malicious ads, and stay safer with their web protection. Remember, Saley is a new project from NordVPN, and obviously they have a history in this security and protection space. You get 24/7 support, and you can get a full refund if your device turns out to be not eSIM compatible, though the vast majority of modern devices are. This is an eSIM for Greece. 1 gigabyte starting at $3.82. 10 gigs, $18 over 30 days. I mean, there's a number of them that you can choose from. Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, Italy. So if you're a person who travels a lot, you're probably overpaying for roaming fees and whatnot, give Saley a try. I'll have the details down in the description. Make sure you use the code UNBOXTherapy. You'll save 15%. Unbox Therapy, save 15%. So something I want to compare is the display, because I found the displays to be great on both of these devices. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see these are both vivid high contrast, obviously fast refresh. They're nearly uniform at this point from the 17 to the 17 Pro, but how does the Air compare? Ooh. Really nice. Air screen looks great, honestly. Kind of surprised. Okay, let's do a little spec comparison here. So the difference in scale, these two are 6.3 inches, and then the Air is 6.5 inches, so slightly bigger display. They're all labeled Super Retina XDR. They've all got ProMotion, and honestly, to my eyes, other than the difference in scale, they are extremely comparable. Same ceramic shield on the front, same water resistance and depth. The Air and the Pro both have the A19 Pro chip, whereas the 17 obviously does not. Battery life stated by Apple is 27 hours for the Air versus 30 hours for the iPhone 17 and 33 hours for the Pro. I don't know if you think that that is a good or bad thing. I mean, when you compare it to the Pro, obviously the Pro is, I mean, it seems like it's twice as thick. So I would say maybe on paper that's impressive if you can actually get the stated amount of battery life. Front camera's the same across the board. They've all got the 18 megapixel center stage. So here we just have the single unit 48 megapixel fusion camera system. This year it feels like there's a convergence of models where they have more in common than they do have differences, because the displays, which is really a huge component in your device and how you perceive it, extremely comparable. So I suppose the next consideration, or the next big consideration, is going to be cost. Starts at $999. And of course, in order to confuse you even further, Apple slots the Air right in between the standard model and the Pro. So it actually kind of goes like this in terms of cost. So we have starting at $799 for the 17, starting at $999 for the Air, and then moving to $1099 for the Pro. So you're confused. It's all very complicated. It's hard for even someone like me to imagine which one I would like to use. I mean, my instinct tells me that I would go for the battery life, but there's something nice about experimenting with a new form factor and getting to the bottom of what those drawbacks actually are. But it would seem odd to pick a device with the least amount of battery life when it is such a huge and important focus for so many people. It's hard to figure out who the Air is actually for, beyond somebody who just wants this cool new science fiction style form factor. I have to say, holding it, it is not the most confidence inspiring thing because it is so sleek. I'm gonna try it with a later case on there. Maybe that helps a little bit, but then obviously this makes it slightly less thin. It's still extremely thin with this case on. Other things worth testing here, obviously the camera. Let's see here, there is Will 1X. Let me go for iPhone 17, Will 1X, crop, mega comparable. What about video? Let's see if this thing gets hot. Okay, Will, I'm now shooting 4K 60, audio coming from the phone. I'm gonna closer to you because you like to say hi to people.
Hello.
You don't. Very irritated today. There you go. Oh, wow. Pretty close focus. Now let it down. Boom. Same thing, Will, if you can. Hand in front of both of the lenses. I'll back it up just a touch. One more time. Again. Yeah. The Pro, like, looks more like a professional pull. It's a slower thing. And the selfie camera is gonna have the same benefit. Like, this is an area that they improved in big time with the square sensor. Essentially, it's like having two cameras or not needing to flip my phone. So, and the selfie camera in general just looks so much better. And even for my complexion, this one looks more boosted because the screen, but it's pretty close. Maybe a little more pink over here. I think this year, at least so far, it seems to me that this is a convergence of models from a performance perspective. Camera performance, display performance, even battery performance. I guess that you do have a gap, but it's not enormous. It's a convergence, and it makes choosing the right device out of the bunch a little bit complicated. Let me listen to the speakers on here. Seems to be most interested in, rightfully so, because
what's the best monitor size per game? Let's talk.
Got the new iPhones, and there's an orange one this year, which everyone seems to be, people were skeptical back. All right, so I found the biggest difference is the sound. Those two sound very similar. Slightly different, a little more low end on the Pro, but then when you get to the Air, and I showed this one off, it's obviously not as powerful. You do have this glass panel. Yeah, you take a hit on sound too, so that's interesting. and worth noting. You tell me, like, if you're one of these people that's extremely excited about the Air or gonna buy the Air, I'm curious what your reasoning is or what it is that's most appealing. I think for a lot of people, it's just gonna be the feat of engineering, the fact that like, and this thing is strong too. I'm not even gonna bend it really. You can break it, but it feels shockingly sturdy for something that's this thin. I feel like I could break it. I mean, I feel like I could. I retire from that. I'm not in that game anymore. But it's still, regardless, even just to do that and feel how sturdy that is, there's definitely like a rigid structure in there. And titanium is fantastic. And it feels a lot different than what you have from Samsung. This thing feels lighter, impressive in its own way, but it, for some reason, just doesn't feel quite as sturdy. Although, you know what? Don't worry, Will, I know you're using this one right now. I don't think this is going to be a big change in the marketplace, honestly. I don't think all of a sudden everyone's gonna be racing to the thinnest phone. It's cool as an extra option for somebody, but I do think it's worth noting that in the other categories, the phones have actually gotten fatter and people have become more inclined towards battery life, even at the cost of form factor. It's because these things are now doing everything for us. These are like our main computers, and so that means battery life has like rose to the top in terms of attributes that are important and worth considering. So as a feat of engineering, I think it's extremely impressive, but I think the vast majority of users are gonna be better served by something thicker and having more battery life. Probably the recommendation still stays at the 17 standard, but it is cool. And if you're an early adopter or somebody who really appreciates design and kind of the fringe or the edge of design, you can go this direction and you can pick up this thing too. Maybe you're okay. You can see the battery life of the pack and the device. Oh, and also it will work through the case too. I think some people were wondering if that was gonna be the case, so yeah. Charges right away. Oh, and Will is curious whether or not this battery is going to work with his Samsung. Yeah, maybe you have to do it like this, right? I mean, this is not really practical, Will.
Just forget about it.
Forget. Will says just forget about it. I mean, I did get it to charge for a split second. It's really made for the Air. Because even if you look at these smaller, I mean, it just doesn't. So that's a tough one to buy too, because then you're like, I can't even help my friends out. With any other power bank, I'm helping my friends out. Do you know what I'm saying? And I got a display that shows me how much battery I have on it. And I have a built-in cable. I can even help Will out. Need a charge? Let me know in the comments, which iPhone are you buying in 2025? Is it going to be the Pro, the Air, or the Standard, or none?